So God day and God bless everyone, and God bless you, sir. I'm Christine A. Maestrado, and I'm going to report my topic is all about the energy flow and tropic structure, energy capture in ecological system, and tropic structure. So, what is energy flow and tropic structure? Tropic levels provide a structure for understanding food chain and how energy flow through an ecosystem. Ang energy flow tropic structure daw is nag-provide an understanding about a food chain, how to the energy flow through an ecosystem. The next is energy flow. Energy flow is the flow of energy through living things within an ecosystem. So, ang energy flow daw kay kanang flow siya sa living things nga naa sa ecosystem. All living things, organism can be organized into producer and consumer. And those producer and consumer can be further be organized into a food chain. So, tanang organism daw kay naka-organize siya gikan sa producer up to consumer. And those producer and consumer kay ma-organize into a food chain. So, magsunod-sunod siya into food chain from producer to consumer. And next, what is an example of energy flow? So, this is the example of energy flow. As you can see, the first step is a grass, and the second step is a grasshopper, then the third is a frog, the fourth is snake, and the fifth is a hawk. So that's an example of energy flow. Then energy flow in an ecosystem will begin in the autotrophs that take energy from the sun. So, magkuha yun sila og energy from the sun. And which organism capture energy into an ecosystem? So, unsa daw nga mga organism ang nag-capture sa energy sa ecosystem? So, producer such as plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. So, there are 3 producer. So, mao to sila ang 3 producer. Use the energy from sunlight to make organic matter from carbon dioxide and water. So, this is the plants, the algae. So, ang algae is mura siya og lumot. Then, the cyanobacteria. So, this is the 3 producer. The next is, what is the energy captured by producer? So, producer are the energy gateway. So, phototrophs like plants use light energy to build sugar out of carbon dioxide. So, like plants daw, ang ginagamit nila is ang sunlight. Mauna ang ginag-build nila para out of carbon dioxide. Then, the energy is stored in a chemical bonds of the molecules which are used in fuel and building material by the plant. So, light energy. So, mo siya ang light energy. Light energy is a kind of kinetic energy with the ability to make types of light visible to human eyes. So, mauna siya ang meaning sa light energy. Next, how is energy captured? On Earth, most of the energy that fuels life originally comes from the sun. So, ang energy gid daw kay gikan jud siya sa sun. The energy from sunlight is converted into biological molecules from organism called producer. So, mao na siya ang kuan sa energy captured. Next is tropic extractor. Is defined as the partitioning of biomass between tropic levels, subset as ecological community that gather energy and nutrients in similar ways, that is producer carnivores. So, muna siya ang tropic structure. Nag-define siya sa partitioning of biomass between the tropic levels. And what are some examples of tropic pyramid? Most food chains consist of 3 or 4 tropic levels. A typical sequence may be the plant, herbivorous, carnivore, top carnivore. Another sequence is plant, herbivore, parasite of the herbivore, and parasite of the parasite. So, this is the example of energy pyramid or tropic pyramid. So, this is the example. First step is a grass. Then, muna siya ang procedure. Then, gi-transfer siya sa primary consumer. Then, after that, the secondary consumer and tertiary consumer, which is the hawk. And next, how is tropic structure different from food web? All of the interconnected and overlapping food chain in ecosystem make up a food web. Organisms in food webs are grouped into categories called tropic levels. So, ang food web ay kay-group siya into categories nga gitawag og tropic levels. Roughly speaking, these levels are divided into producer, first tropic levels, consumer and decomposer, last tropic level. So sa akong giingon ganina is there have 4 tropic levels. Moto ang plant, herbivore, carnivore, ug top carnivore. So, balik ta sa plant. So, plant. So, kailan lang ito sa ang plant? Muna siya ang isa sa tropic levels. Ang herbivore, mauna siya ang mga animals that only eat plants. This can be flowers, fruit, nuts, grass, or even wood. So, muna sila ang mga animals nga ang ilang ginakaon kay plants ra or flower, fruits. Then, example sa mga herbivores nga mga animals, horse, cow, or rabbit, and many more. Then, the third is carnivore. Carnivore animals this is the animals who eat meat. Example, tiger, lion, jaguar, and many more. Then the last is top carnivore. Top carnivores is a tertiary consumer. They are at the top of the food chain. Example, whale eating a sea lion, or hawk eating a snake. So, muna siya ang top carnivores. And next is energy flow pyramid. Energy pyramids. An energy pyramid is a graphical model of energy flow in a community. So, energy pyramid, muna siya graphical model energy flow in a community. So, sa food chain, show who's eating in the community. So, kung ang sun ang gahatag og energy, so ang mag-receive ana kay ang producer. So, ang grass. So, or ang tree. So, pag human ana sa tree, so, kinsa may consumer, kinsa may mukhaon, so ang animals. So, pag human ana, ma-decomposer na pod ang animals. Next is tropic structure or biology tropic level. So, muna siya ang kaning tropic structure. Then, pertains to position in food chain or ecological pyramid occupied by a group of organisms. So, what are tropic levels best described as? Tropic levels deep in a nutritive series or food chain of an ecosystem. An organism of a chain are satisfied in these levels on the basis of their feeding behavior. Then, energy enters an ecosystem when producers carry out photosynthesis, capturing energy from the sun and storing in a chemical potential energy. So, ang light energy is ang sun, then ang photosynthesis ana niya kay ang tree. Dayon, ang tree na dayon ang mag-distribute sa energy sa iyang surrounding. Then, which living things capture energy used in an ecosystem? In almost all ecosystems, photosynthesizers are the only gateway of energy to flow into food webs. So, muna siya ang food chain. Tertiary, ang magsugod ka sa producer, primary consumer, then secondary consumer, and the tertiary consumer. Then, plants, algae, and photosynthetic bacteria acts as producer. Producers are autotrophs or self-feeding organisms that make their own organic molecules from carbon dioxide. Autotrophs, like plants, use light energy to build sugar out of carbon dioxide. So some of these organisms include higher plants, some protists, algae, and euglena, and bacteria. So muna siya ang picture sa photosynthetic bacteria. So muna siya. Then, what are plants, algae, and photosynthetic bacteria example of? Phototrophs are the organism that get energy from sunlight. So, ang phototrophs daw organism, guys, sa sunlight siya nakuha to make organic materials. Then, tropic structure is defined as the portioning of biomass between tropic levels. Then, what is simple tropic structure? A basic tropic structure consists of the primary producer, a primary consumer, and a secondary consumer. The primary producer refers to autotrophs such as photosynthetic plants that produce their own food. So, muna ang simple tropic structure. Muna ang picture. Simple tropic structure. Muna siya. Then, why is the tropic structure important? Significance: monitoring the tropic levels is essential so as to gain an understanding of the interrelationship between organisms as well as the ecological processes that occur within an ecosystem. What is the most important tropic level and why? Primary producers are important to the whole food chain because they are the original source of energy that is then passed between other organisms. So, ang pinaka-important tropic level daw kay ang primary producer. Kay siya ang nagkuan sa whole food sa chain. Sa food chain, siya ang naghatag og food chain. So, siya ang original source sa energy nga gi-distribute na dayon niya. Then, so that's all. Thank you and God bless everyone.